tata, roll it, cross the marrow, bring the poor, top in the dunya. Nani bring me chumuka, Didi bring me kangana. Nani bring me chumuka, Didi bring me kangana. Dress me like a dula here today, me dula ha come for marry me. Dress me like a dula here today, me sasunala come for carry me. Me dula ha come for marry me, me sasunala come for carry me. Me dula ha come for marry me, me sasunala come for carry me. Nani bring me chumuka. Vanita. If you see her pua, wine and swing she waist, watching the lawa. All the ladies joining share. If you see her pua, wine and swing she waist, watching the lawa. All the ladies joining share. She can't wait to patch the lawa, can't wait to throw the gun, can't wait to patch the lawa, can't wait to throw the gun. If you see her pua, wine and swing she waist, watching the lawa. All the ladies joining share. If you see her pua, wine and swing she waist, watching the lawa. All the ladies joining share.
When you go my Indian wedding, all you see is woman whining. When you see the lawa batching, all you see is blue and raining. Guyana, Trinidad, what you say?
But I'm sitting by the river, thinking about it out of future. But I'm sitting by the river, thinking about it out of future. Sending shit on another home, can't bear to let she go. Hope they treat you like the way he used to do. Oh, if you see her pua, wine and swing she waist, watching the lawa. All the ladies joining share. If you see her pua, wine and swing she waist, watching the lawa. All the ladies joining share.
Go pua, wine pua, come pua. Hey, hey. If you see pua whining, patching the lawa. If you see pua, how she patching the lawa. When you come my Indian wedding, all you see is woman whining. When you see the lawa patching, all you see is blue and raining. Lawa. What you say? Tell them.
Mother Billy in Shipuri, gotta ring the baratis. Hey.
Oh yeah.
Mother Billy in Shipuri, gotta ring the baratis. Friends and family from all over, telling she the tradition. She don't want no evil, cause they know she's sad. Oh, if you see her pua, wine and swing she waist, watching the lawa. All the ladies joining share. If you see her pua, wine and swing she waist, watching the lawa. All the ladies joining
Take away.
share. She can't wait to patch the lawa, can't wait to throw the gun, can't wait to patch the lawa, can't wait to throw
Yes,
the gun. If you see her pua, wine and swing she waist, watching the lawa. All the ladies joining share. If you see her pua, wine and swing she waist, watching the lawa. All the ladies joining share. If you see her pua, wine and swing she waist, watching the lawa. All the ladies joining share.
Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. Helen Keller. Welcome to Get Real with Shamiza. I'm your host, Shamiza Ali, and it is a pleasure to be here with you this evening. A warm welcome to everyone joining us on Facebook Live, YouTube, Island Zone Radio, and on NTN Channel 69 in Georgetown, Guyana. Tonight, we will be discussing gratefulness and what you're grateful for. The last year has taught us many valuable lessons about life and how precious it can be. Tonight, we will also speak to a young man who is the talk of the tongue with his great looks and personality. But first, let's meet our co hosts for tonight. Please welcome, back by popular demand, Miss Indera DeMine. Welcome, Indera.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me again. I'm excited to be.
Now, you have made quite an impact the last time you were here, and so many viewers wanted. They had so many questions, and they were just asking a lot about Indira. Do you have an idea why is that, Indira?
I think that immigration is a really popular topic. We all, especially for the Guyanese community, we all immigrated from Guyana. So being able to share my immigrant story, I think, with other Guyanese, there's obviously a connection. I
Absolutely.
I remember life in Guyana, so I think that because of that. And because of my shared background with the viewers, I think maybe we made a connection there. And I really saw it during the show with the questions that came in and just the interest from everyone. And I'm so appreciative for the opportunity. But it's been great.
And Indira, you're correct. Like you said, you connected really well with everyone, but not only that, to show how grateful you are and how you appreciate everyone, you've actually dedicated one day of your time in December 7th, I believe,
Right.
where you will be helping our community. You set aside that day just for our community
Yeah.
to schedule appointments where you can have one-on-one appointments and just go over
Right.
your cases and everything, right?
Absolutely. And, we talked about it on the show, how important it is to just kind of get an idea of where you stand legally. That might mean that you stay where you are, or maybe you file something, but how important it is to get an understanding of your legal status. So I wanted to offer something to the viewers of this show, because the response has been so overwhelming, and it's a way of saying thank you so much. So we are offering free consultations all day on December 7th. And we do consultations in half an hour slots, and I've dedicated the entire day. Free consultations. You call our office and you mention, I've seen you on Get Real with Shamiza, and we'll schedule you for that free consultation. And I know that a lot of folks are probably going to call from Guyana or Trinidad or somewhere else. So we do offer Zoom consultation, WhatsApp consultation, phone call consultation. So whatever is convenient, but it's just to give folks an idea of just to get a feel for where they stand legally.
Perfect. And I'm so grateful that you have given us, our viewers, this opportunity, because I know most of these consultations can cost anywhere from 100 to 100 or even more depending on the attorney. So for you to do this for our viewers, I really want to thank you and tell you how grateful I am for that.
Thank you. And when once you start meeting people in your community that share your love for your community and the love for your people, it's easy to give when everybody that you're surrounding yourself with is so giving. So I think I'm taking a page out of your book, is what I should say, because I'm grateful for the opportunity that you gave us and our law firm. So I'm actually following in your footsteps by doing this. And the idea is to see kind of response we get and go from there. and who knows, it could be something continuous. But yeah, it's just an opportunity just for this community that you have built, and I think it's so important to say thank you for that support. So
I appreciate that. So, before we move on, Indira, if anyone has questions, even though Indira is here hosting tonight, she will take a question or two hereby. So you can post questions or anything of a concern that you might have that has to do with immigration. Please post it in the comments, and Indira will answer it as we go along tonight's show. But again, tonight is all about gratefulness, and we have so much to be grateful for. The last 2 years have taught us that nothing ever should be taken for granted, and I for one can definitely attest to what I've seen in the last 2 years. So tonight, a lot of things you can tell us too in the comments what you're grateful for, and Indira and I will be looking at the comments. We'll be reading off of the comments, and we will be acknowledging you as we go along here tonight. We do have a packed night with guests and with a lot of giveaways. So first, before we move on, Indira, we do have one of our viewers, and she's also one of our sponsors. She is giving away a beautiful basket. It's from Edible Arrangements, and we're very happy to give it away tonight to our viewers. So we asked the question earlier in the week, what is your favorite moment guest, or your idea of what the best show was so far this season, in season 2? And we have a few comments, but not a lot. So we really want to give this basket away. It could be on your dinner table tomorrow. Of course, you have to pick it up, but it's actually not far away. So if you would like to win this delicious basket of edible fruits and chocolate and all of that stuff, please tell us what was your favorite moment of season 2 on Get Real with Shamiza. Also, tonight we are giving away 2 tickets to Firefest, their annual spectacular, as I like to say it. But they will have the king of the world. They'll also have the Prince JP, GI. It will be a fantastic night to go out and celebrate. So if you would like to win tickets to this event as well, please answer the question. The question is also posted. I think I might have it here as well. Let me take a quick look and see if I have the question. The question actually is on Facebook. So if you haven't seen it, please, and I'll try to see if I can get that question as well. But here's your chance to win 2 tickets. What else do we have? At this point,
lots of giveaways tonight, huh?
Yeah, and we actually have more things to give away. We have baskets also from one of our other sponsors, Badesi. So we have these amazing gift boxes, and this is compliments of Vermin Badesi and buyeasy.com. So here's another chance. It's $100 value, and we want to give these things away, guys. So we have 4 different baskets, 4 different gift boxes that we're giving away tonight. So please tell us about your favorite moment on Get Real with Shamiza season 2 so far, and you have an opportunity to win this as well. At this moment, we would like to hear a word from our sponsors. So enjoy this word from our sponsors.
NNS Algo Licensed Custom Brokerage Services, Inc. is a Guyanese-owned and registered company located at Lot 49 Public Road, Kitty, Georgetown, with branch office at Lot 10A Media Ida on the west coast of Demerara. We offer an all-inclusive service, including delivery for all your commercial imports of air and sea cargo, containerized or LCL, vehicle and equipment, and much more. Make that call today, 225-5495, or visit our pages at www.nsalgobrokerage.com or find us on Facebook at NS Algo Brokerage.
Gavin sing at Rancho. Yeah, my liquor is my lover. I was born a drinker. Yeah, my liquor is my lover. I was born a drinker.
Enos Driving School offers training for CDL licenses, including tractor trailers, trucks, and school buses. Just think, with a CDL license, you can have access to thousands of driving jobs at large companies such as FedEx, UPS, MTA, or New York Sanitation. Enos Driving School also offers defensive driving courses and training classes for cars and motorcycles, all taught by their college-trained instructors who can even schedule your road test appointments. Inquire about other driving and training packages as well. You might even be qualified for their free CDL training, as they are a certified institution with the New York State Workforce One program. Call Enos Driving School today. They've been serving our community for over 10 years.
Imagination Foundation. Since it has been founded in 2014, Imagination Foundation has been dedicated to providing recreational, educational, and health benefits to the less fortunate in Guyana. From awareness concerts to free concerts where thousands have attended, to annual back-to-school events where hundreds of backpacks and school supplies are distributed so that children can start their year fresh and equipped to learn. Annual Christmas events with toys and games, providing hot meals to orphanages and the Dharamsala. Our team work hard and tirelessly. We are proud to consistently distribute hundreds of hampers throughout the pandemic, thanks to kind donors and sponsors and our founder. Look us up on Facebook if you would like to be part of this amazing movement. Imagination Foundation.
Lisa, welcome back. And so I do have that question ready for the chance to win 2 tickets to Firefest. The question is, last week on Get Real with Shamisa, Minister Deodat was on the show, and I asked him, what does he want to be remembered for? What was his answer? What did he say he wanted to be remembered for? If you answer that correctly, you will win 2 tickets to this Saturday event at Firefest. Indira, I'm excited. I'm
Me too.
I'm excited to meet our next guest because this young man is just exceptional. He's been creating news all across the Caribbean, and he is actually, well, let's meet him first. Let me introduce him and let's meet him. He grew up in central Trinidad, where he spent all of his childhood. He grew up playing sports such as cricket, football, cycling, and swimming. He graduated as a certified diver. This young man didn't stop there. He models, he acts, and he can be seen in the famous Raymond Ramnarine Nakating video. As a matter of fact, he is in Panama right now competing for Mr. Grand International Pageant. Please welcome my first guest for tonight, Suveer Ramsook. Suveer, welcome to Get Real with Shamisa.
Hello. Hi
Hey,
everyone. Hi Shamzima and hello Indira. How you all doing?
We're doing great.
we're doing well. Suveer, did I miss anything there in the introduction?
No, Ali, just forget to say that I'm like a Trinidadian boy at heart and I'm making sure that everybody around the world know I'm a Trinity to the bone.
Actually, I had something that I was going to show that will, discredit what you just said, but we decided not to. It was actually a really good video of you saying chicken
Hey,
curry or curry chicken?
hey, trying to get me in trouble. But
So tell
actually,
me, what is it?
no, I have the answer, and the answer is it depends on where you at and when you're eating it. So if I'm in
Oh,
Guyana, it's in Trinidad, it's curry chicken.
ah, I see.
Yeah.
So, how's it going for you right now? You're in Panama. You just actually got to Panama earlier today.
Right.
And how was
So
that? What is it like for you?
I think this is like probably a blessing in disguise because I get to come to my hotel room, settle up a day earlier. It's actually tomorrow that everyone's arriving. So the fact that
Yeah.
I'm here earlier gets me a bit, more settled than the rest. I get to relax. I get to get accustomed and acquainted with those around me, the place, and kind of familiarize myself and kind of, practice some Spanish here and there with those who speak Spanish around.
So tell us about Mr. Brand International. What is it about?
Well,
Is
Mr.
is
Graham,
this the first year that they're holding, or is this has been done yearly?
so this is the fourth edition of Mr. Grand International, and they primarily focus on men who are athletic and competitive in any given sport. They actually aim to find a guy who's able to fit the needs of the organization in terms of meeting the criteria of having the high morals in the affairs of sport, and they focus on two main categories, which are camaraderie and competitiveness. And the organization was actually established because they believe that men and their beauty should be celebrated through sports.
Wow. I can't think of a more fitting name for it. Mr.
Yeah.
Brand International. Um, now you like I said, you were actually featured as a model for NBA superstar and USA professional basketball player Carmelo Anthony Melo made. It's his
Right.
fashion line. You were actually part of that his summer collection in 2018. What was that
Yeah.
like for you?
Well, to be honest with you, not a major NBA fan. I mean, I take in basketball. I know who are certain players, but I
Yes.
remember being there at that fashion show, and all I knew it was just a job. And I came straight from Trinidad, so I'm not really too much into basketball, knowing these superstars and stuff. But then this entourage came in with at least 20 guys, and about only 18 of those guys being bodyguards, and two guys. So one was Carmelo Anthony, and the next one was James Harden. And I was like, wait, I know that guy's face with the beard, and that was James Harden. I was like, is that him? And then only to realize that the show was for the NBA superstar Carmelo Anthony, and it was actually his line. So I called up one of my friends immediately, and the first thing I said was, I wish you was here because he would have a much greater appreciation as a basketball fan himself to be there. But I was like, you know what, I'll live it up because it was all about the opportunity, and the fact that I get to say that I've done it is something that I would always remember for the rest of my life.
And how did this opportunity come your way?
I think, through networking and connections, I was in New York at that point in time, and someone just knew I was in New York, and they made a call to me, and it was just like, go to this casting for this time, and people was like, oh, you're the Trinidadian, no problem, and blah, blah, blah. They do your fitting, they organize you, and they say, okay, this is when the show is at, and it was simply just that. I think it was at 52nd Street is where the casting was held.
Wow, a place that I know very well. I actually worked on 52nd Street. Now,
Uh,
you were also part of the Mr. Supernatural in
mhm.
2018. You were part of that competition in Poland as well. So
Yes.
you've been in a few different. You've walked the runway. You've been in competitions before,
Yeah.
right? So is there something that you think that you have that's a little bit ahead of the other guys that you bring to
Yeah.
the table?
I think the word is experience, and especially in pageantry and male pageantry, that is, experience is necessary. And if you don't have it back home, like specifically back in Trinidad and the English speaking Caribbean, where pageantry is not that, promising of an opportunity for any man, that we don't have it practiced as much, we don't have it celebrated as much. You have to have experience, and the only experience I gained was when I went to Poland to represent Trinidad at Mr. Supranational. So, from that experience in itself, learning from what the winners did, and learning from what my strengths were and what my weaknesses were. I worked on what my weaknesses were and made them my strengths, and I took my strengths and made them even more stronger. And all I can say is I'm more than prepared, and I should be. I mean, you can never really be too prepared, but I'm prepared, and I think my heart lies where I say that I believe that I'm ready.
Wow. You spoke with so much confidence that I feel like you've already won this competition.
I think like
Indira, please
every
go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
yeah, I
No, when back when I was a kid, and kids, they're always little um, uh, uh, school and so on. Was because now being a little is such a big is part of being a room of people. And I pageantry and being efficient out is so your level of confidence or your ability to speak in a room of people. And that is a skill. It really does. Like now
Indira,
out place at the right.
Indira, you're I'm sorry to interrupt, but I can you're chopping up a lot. Like it's going in and out. Something
Oh
with your
no.
sound. Suveer, are you hearing the same thing?
yeah, I actually was, but maybe if you repeat yourself, I think we may help hear you a little bit better.
Yes, I was just
There we
saying
go.
that oh no, it's happening again.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Go ahead. Indira, go ahead.
Okay, so I was saying that the being able to compete and having that level of confidence takes time. It takes experience, as you were saying, and being able to network, like that opportunity with Carmelo Anthony. That's a huge opportunity, and just being able to network, I think that's so important. And how did you develop your networking skills? Because that's something as a young attorney I've had to learn how to do over time, is learn how to network in a room of people. Do you do any sort of ritual before you're going into a networking event to sort of get yourself and your head in the right frame of space before a networking event?
Well, I'll have to say my modeling experience and my acting experience is a major benefit when it comes to networking and connections. And it's something I like to refer to as my alter ego. You have to tap into that, but especially when you walk into a room, you need to now be the person who's the center of attention. You need to attract people not only with the way that you speak, but the way that you look. And you have to give them the language of body language for all the answers that they have in their head. And basically, once you can get that down, your alter ego is something that I would always go to. And the characteristics of that is just being really confident, believing that, you know what, it's all about trying to be my true, honest self in its purest form. And for those who like me, they would like me for who I am. And those who may not like me wouldn't like me because of the things that they just don't like. But it's fine. It's because I believe that showing your true self is something that's the best when it comes to selling yourself, because you don't want to sell something that you're not. And for me, it's all about once your alter ego is able to understand that and show all the characteristics you need, it's like an excuse as to be your most bubbly self. Because I'm not really an extrovert, but when I get into my character of understanding, okay, I'm going into a room, I'm going into a meeting, it's all about, a presence, and this is what I need to do. It's like I look at it as a game, as a challenge. I'm like, okay, time to act. So this is what Suveer is going to be like today. This is what he's going to be seen like, and this is what he's going to do for the next 20 minutes. And that's my excuse, and that's my technique.
Wow. Speaking of acting, Severe, you're actually in you're acting, right? You're in school for acting right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, I actually stopped the school because of the COVID, and I had to stay back home in Trinidad. I was actually studying at the Met Film School all the way in London, and
Mhm.
it was a year that our restrictions in Trinidad and Tobago stopped us from flying, so I didn't really get to go back to school physically. However, online, I do still participate in a lot of acting workshops.
Very nice. And you also put out a lot of videos on Instagram.
Yes, and
And
as well, yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
As well as TikTok. Yeah, I use social media as the forum, not to put out content necessarily, but to practice my acting, because the best way to practice for me is practical, especially when it comes to acting. It's all about a challenge. It's all about getting into different characters. And I think by these short little skits and videos, you get to practice your acting as much as possible. And who are better critics than the people who watch you, especially Caribbean people?
And we know Caribbean people can critique.
They sure can. Now, I know recently you were in Guyana right before the pageant, or was the pageant actually held in Guyana?
Well, I was there to attend the Mr., Miss, Mrs., and Miss Teen India Guyana pageant. I actually
Right.
co-hosted that event with Shivani Lachman, as well as
Yeah.
I had the opportunity of training the guys. I was actually their pageant coach, as well as their mentor and the choreographer for them. So that opportunity that I had in Guyana was all around that. And then I got to do the business aspect of things with networking and connections and enjoying Guyana for what it truly is.
Yes, and I saw many photos of you enjoying Guyana, many videos of you in Guyana enjoying every moment. So, we're both from Guyana, so we love when you can go there and you can actually enjoy yourself. Was there any, from when you've last visited Guyana to visiting it recently, was there any changes that was noticeable to you?
I think because of my popularity and becoming a little more well known, it benefited me in the sense that people would approach me more, and I think
Right.
that in itself is good because I love talking to people and I love meeting people. So we had something to talk about, which was sadly me, but that's okay. It's a good conversation starter, and I take it from there. And I had the blessing of meeting a lot of beautiful Guyanese people who were able to show how hospitable and humble they can be. And trust me, I left there with so much new friends that I feel like I have a family in Guyana now, to be honest.
Well, I hope you, when you do win this title, you're able to go back to Guyana and spend some time again in Guyana.
Well, that's actually part of the plans. We actually have.
Oh no.
I think we lost him there, but we'll try to connect with him again soon. What do you think so far, Indira? Very
It's
talented
awesome.
young
Yeah.
man, right?
It's been really great. It's wonderful to also celebrate the arts, and
Definitely.
artistic folks, and we grew up watching Indian Hindi films and Indian actors. So for us to have that actors coming out of the Caribbean, I think is so important for us to support that, because I believe that the best way you encourage younger generations is by showing them, by seeing it. When you see somebody on screen that looks like you, that's
Yes.
that's the biggest motivation. So
Welcome back, Suveer.
Yeah, sorry about that. I think the call just dropped there.
Yeah, well, we're happy that you're back. There is something happening, like typing or something that I can hear. I am not sure where it's coming from, but it's hopefully we can get rid of it. I'm not sure if it's anyway. So Suveer, we're gonna get back to you. You were in the Nakating video, right? And actually, that was I saw you on TikTok probably months ago, but then seeing you in that video, I'm like, I paid attention. Like, who is this kid? Like, what is he? So, what was it like being? I mean, it has to be one of the most famous videos for us Guyanese and Trinidadians, an acting video, right? What was it like for you? Because you actually started that in that video.
It's quite amazing that not much people know about that video in detail. But I remember Raymond reached out to me maybe about a month before, and actually I wouldn't say a month. It was a couple months, at least 6 months before. He's always been supportive. Like he's always hitting me up on Instagram. He's like, "Hey, I love that video X Y," and
Yeah.
even his brother Richard, and they've always been supporting me verbally. And then the opportunity for the video came, and he was like, he would like for me to be part of the video X, Y, and Z. And he was like, Suveer, you're the guy. We want to hear how you think we should shoot this first part. And I was like, this is how I think it should go. This is the settings. And we were just at the beginning of the the pandemic and stuff like that. So we had to make sure that all protocols were in place and stuff like that. But the fact that he reached out to me and he saw something in me that he actually wanted to hear my input, I
Yeah.
think he gave me the creative license to really give the rundown as to how it's gonna go. And that's why we kind of scripted it to look the way that it looked. And I think that the editor and the director made it finish in the end with that impact that it's supposed to have, that natural kind of liming, kind of vibes, kind of relaxation, kind of family mood. And I think we accomplished that. And because it's a very famous video, especially with the Indo-Caribbean people of Trinidad and Tobago, especially all over in New York and the States and Canada. I know it's a really well-known video. I think it was one of the highlights of my life, especially being a big Dylan Adan, Raymond Ramnarine fan, listening to his
Right.
music, possibly trying to sing all of his songs, which I can't. But you know, it was breathtaking. And for me personally, I always consider when I do things like this, I don't do it for me, but I do it for my people and for people who didn't think that they could accomplish things like this. Because for me, that, for example, is not something that I had at the top of my wish list or my bucket list. But
Right.
had I known that, you know, it was an option, I would have definitely put it there. And the fact that I've done it, I'll take another opportunity and do something again, bigger and more grand.
Wow. Yes. Well, we hope to see you maybe in future videos. And no, you had a line in there, and it's actually a famous. I can actually remember the line, but I'll let you say the line that you actually said at the beginning of the video.
All right, I'll say it. I wouldn't say it with too much accent, but I'll say, you never throw a jack on a true champion. I think that's the line, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the line. Indira, what do you think?
I think it's great. I was just commenting how I think it's awesome to see Caribbean actors, you know, and being able to support Caribbean actors is so important for us to see people that looks like us on TV. I think that's how you encourage younger generations. So I'm all about it. I think it's great.
Now, Suveer, another thing about you is you actually being part of this competition, you want to change a stigma in male modeling. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Well, I know back home in the Caribbean, male and men on the whole have a definition as to what a man should be and what masculinity is. And for me, it's all about trying to redefine the meaning of masculinity. So I think people try to define the meaning of masculinity, but for me, it's about redefining it to what you think a man should be like and what you think is masculine. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to succumb to the pressures of that of society and culture, but it means trying to make a meaning of the word masculinity and what it means to you and trying to embrace it for who you really are, not trying to prove to anybody who you should be, but being true to who you are and really embracing it for what it really means to yourself. And no matter what anybody say to you about how it should be, you stand your ground on what you firmly believe masculinity is. And that itself, as a stigma, it drives many stereotypes behind it. And I think men in the Caribbean, because we come from a third world country, there's a lot of third world mentality thinking, I believe. And I feel as if that is what holds us back from thinking beyond the barrier, thinking beyond that the sky is the limit. And that in itself, because it actually limits us, we don't have that opportunity for ourselves to even think more than what we've heard. So the first thing that we hear when somebody talk about men in pageantry is what we sum up, that that's what a man in pageantry should be like. And the stigma surrounding men in pageantry having to do with their sexuality in terms of how strong and confident they are, how masculine that they are. You know, it's all of those stereotypes that I believe need to be broken. But the way that it should really be broken will come from oneself, in which they redefine their term of what masculinity really means.
Wow. Well said. Well said, Indira.
Yes, I mean, so much on this, right? I mean, Shamiza, growing up in Guyana, I what it means to be a young woman, what it means to be a man. Those lines were pretty defined growing up, and
Mhm.
what you could and couldn't do as a young woman or a young man. So the fact that someone is challenging those old stereotypes that we have and say, look, this is outdated, it
Yeah,
doesn't fit today's world,
yeah,
and I'm a unique person, I'm an individual, and my beliefs, I stand by them, and I'm unique to who I am. I think it's so important that we um, highlight our individuality. Someone once said to me, when you realize that there's no one else like you, you're unique in the way you look, you speak, your thoughts, your action, you realize there's no other competition, right? Because you're not competing with another Suveer, Shamiz, or Indira. It's just one you. So
exactly.
I really appreciate that, because I definitely see the other end of it, being a woman in a male dominated industry. So it's funny that you're doing it on that side, because I also feel like I'm I'm challenging my own old stereotypes on this end of the things, but this end of the spectrum. But it's interesting to see, because we don't see that a lot coming from the male community.
Yeah.
So I yeah, it's interesting.
Now, Severe, how can we help you to win this competition? Is there anything that we can do to help you in this competition to get you? Is there different segments? Tell us how it works.
Yeah, okay, my mic, great. So the first
Yeah.
thing that can be done, you can head across to vantle.ph, which is vantle.ph. And when you go to the website, you scroll all the way down to Trinidad and Tobago. And once you vote, and I get to the top of the voting tables, that will help me get into the top 10 of the Mr. Grand International competition, as well as the fact that I have it linked to my social media. So on all social media platforms, you can follow me at suveer.ramsook. That's suveer.ramsook. I have all the links linked to my bio. It's just a click away for those who
Right.
really want to help and support me. But the true help and support, it will really come from those comments, the shares, the likes, the posting on your story, the posting on your WhatsApp, the spreading the word. Because for me, it's more about spreading positivity, not only on me winning, but Trinidad and Tobago, and not Trinidad and Tobago, but the English speaking Caribbean. And then I'll go on to say the Caribbean, and then I'll go on to say men, and men who've been trying to redefine their own masculinity, and men who've been trying to have a voice out there. For me, it's all about that support. I think that for me is most important. And once I could hear for myself that my voice is being heard, I think that's the impact that I really want. And the International Forum on Mr. Grand International is great. That I can have that platform to spread that voice, but I can start here and I can start using social media. And for me, that's where I really want to start. And if I win Mr. Grand International, which I think I am most capable of, I believe that having both your support as well as Mr. Grand organization support, it will be helping my message of redefining masculinity and helping to empower and inspire others through share masculinity and share willpower to be a better version of themselves. And for me, that's what's most important.
So to anyone that's listening right now, you should be voting for Severe if you think that he deserves to win this competition and you would like to see him go forward so he can represent us. Follow him on his different social media accounts. I have links on my game on actually Shabiz Ali, my personal profile, that you can go there. You can. There is actually a way to vote for you, Severe, on the link when you get to Trinidad and Tobago. I think the like doesn't count. It's the heart. You have to choose. You have to choose the heart emoji, or you have to. There is like 2 points for the heart emoji, I think, and then there is if you share it, it gives you more points. There's two things that you can do for you. So that's what I've been encouraging people that I know to do for you.
Yeah.
So I hope everyone can go there and vote for you. Now, winning this competition, I know that yes, you want to help to promote your message and all of that, but how winning this competition for you, where does it take you? What's your next thing that you would like to do for yourself?
I think the next thing that I like to do for myself is continue with my career paths in modeling as well as acting. But I think what pageantry have opened to me is understanding that I can be a great ambassador
think we lost him
Oh
again, Indira.
no. I think, he is calling in from Panama, so
Yeah,
connection might be bad,
might
but
be.
y-
All right. So at this, hopefully we can get him back in. But in the meantime, we have another one of our guests that's standing by, and she makes us stop what we're doing and she makes us want to dance. Her music gives us warmth and movements we didn't know we were capable of. She's simple, she's humble. Please welcome my musical guest for tonight, Vanita Willie. Vanita, welcome.
Hi, good night.
You finally made it.
I know, tired like whoa.
You don't look that tired, Vanita. You look like you're
Uh,
ready to take 5 minutes
oh no, I gotta go to work in the morning, so I usually go to bed early in the night during the week.
during the week. Got it, got it. Now, Vanita, you became a household name in the last year, probably a little over a year ago, with the famous Pua song, right? What? How did that change your life?
It was a drastic change. It was something new to me, but exciting at the same time. Um, but it was also a blessing. It's just I don't know why said God probably fall, come down on earth and just sprinkle some miracles and whoop I'm in the star group.
I mean, it
It
is a
was a
good
blast.
song. It's very catchy, and people connected really well with it, right? So, I mean, it's not like it's a miracle that, and you can't figure out what it was. The song is really good. The Everything about it was just perfect, and
Yeah,
I think
but
it was iconic.
what
Yeah, go ahead.
happened? It came out since 2017. So
Yes.
it didn't hit the air as yet until late last year. So that's why I thought it was a miracle. It just gets to the air. But I think because of the COVID and everybody was locked in,
Yes.
they pay attention to the local a little bit more, I think.
Right now, you were actually part of the Chatney Soca Monarch competition earlier this year. Is it earlier this year or last year that you were part of it? What was
Earlier this year.
earlier this year?
Yeah, earlier this year. Both CSM, Trinidad and Guyana.
And Guyana.
Hmm.
And your song was one of the hit songs, and you actually placed, I think, in CSM. You were first runner up for the Queen segment of it, right?
Yep.
Can you tell us what that was like for you?
It was an experience. I can only say it was an experience, but I enjoyed it because we never took part in any competition with any other country. So I took it as a learning experience. And
Right.
well, Guyana, well, you're comfortable. You just, everybody, you just go to a competition. But I
Right.
never really expected they usually say when you go into a competition, you must tell yourself you're going to win. But
Right.
I go with my all, but winning, everybody talented, everybody in their own way. So you never know. You have to set yourself up. If somebody wins, you're not gonna go kill yourself. You're gonna just accept it and move on. Exciting.
Indira, go ahead.
yeah, I'm so interested in knowing, how did you get interested in this kind of music, and how did you find your voice? A lot of times, like my mom, growing up, she sang in mandirs, so
Okay.
she always sang in mandirs. I'm just interested in knowing how you got into the music industry.
Okay, so like her, I was at Mandir,
Yeah.
but but I usually visited when I was small. I go in the morning, I go to the temple, and then the afternoon I go to Sunday school, and that's how come I started singing. But to get into the music industry, it was like 10 years ago. I was already 29 when I get into the entertainment business. Other than that, I used to sing at normal tempo.
Vanita, do you still sing at normal temples?
Yep. Um,
Very good.
but I'm not that regular now, but because you're out all weekends and then during the week you go to bed at 8:30
Right.
and you don't go. So, but I have to start again.
Uh, Now, other than the recent competitions and you being here, you've been to New York, you've performed in Florida, you've been everywhere, right?
Yep.
Um, you recently collaborated with Bunty Singh for the famous Rose Hall Tongal. What was it like remaking a song that was such a big hit back in the days? Because we grew up with that song. Like I grew up with it. You might be too young to remember it, but I grew up with it.
Actually, my husband, he actually grew up with that song. Somebody requested Bunty and I to do that song. So he brought it up, and he wanted a female singer. So they asked me, and I just jump on it.
And it was beautifully done. I have to say the video was done really nicely. You guys add a little twist here and there to it, but it was like a really, really good production, and I truly enjoyed. So I commend you and him for
Thank you.
remaking that because it's one of my favorite childhood songs. Now I know recently Indira here just recently and you celebrated your birthday.
Oh yes, the 19th.
The
Indira,
26th
yours
birthday
is
for me.
yesterday, right?
Yeah, it was.
Happy
Right.
belated.
To you too,
So
Vanessa.
somebody has to sing a happy birthday song.
Oh my.
I need a volunteer for a happy birthday song. So
Sure, sure. I can sing for her and she can sing for me.
I, I think that's fair.
Yeah, we
I
could do
don't know if
that
my
together.
singing voice is as good as yours. I'm gonna have to practice.
Right?
So let's see. Well, what happened? My husband was telling me next time I have something like this, I must tell him before so he could set up a little system for me to sing on. Because I was saying, how would I do this? How would I get my track on? So I'm gonna sing. I don't have any music to my
So
song, but I'm gonna sing to you. आओ झूमी नचिकाए आज मस्ती भरी शाम है चांद तारों का खजाना आज तुझसे है लुटाना एक राजा का ऐलान है. Sing with me. Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Everybody on the live. It's a happy birthday
Birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Indira. It's a
Vanita.
Indira
happy.
Vanita.
So we did get a birthday song.
You know what?
Wow.
I don't need any music because your
No.
voice is beautiful and we can hear it very clearly. I love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Vanita, that was beautifully done. Actually, I love that song. We don't do that song a lot now in birthdays. When I was growing up, that was like one of the songs that we definitely used to have at like every birthday party. So I'm happy that you reminded me of it because actually I have my little one. He's going to be celebrating his sixth birthday this
Oh.
Saturday. And hopefully I can pop out that song.
Tell him who said happy birthday.
Yes. So thank you for that. Now, I know that you have to actually head to bed, but I want to take this opportunity to thank you for joining us. But we can't let you go without a few of your hit songs, right?
I know.
So I want to, set the expectation that we're gonna let you go eventually, but first you have to give us some of your music, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, what is one thing with us celebrating, and tonight is actually all about being grateful, right? What we're grateful for. What is one thing that you're grateful for?
One thing that I'm grateful for my family, my job, and I'm grateful for everybody that's rising right now It's a blessing. So take it, enjoy it. But for me, it's my family and my job.
Family and your job, right?
Yep.
We all have those two things that are always top of our list, because without those two things, most of us cannot really live life to our full potential, right? How
Mm-hmm.
about you, Indira? What are you grateful for?
You know, the so I celebrated my birthday yesterday, and tomorrow's
Yes,
Thanksgiving. So I've been doing a lot of reflecting,
of course.
and thinking about the last year, and tomorrow celebrating. So my in-laws are in town, and my parents actually are flying in. So my husband and I live in Florida. My in-laws are from South Carolina. My parents live in New Jersey. So it's a very unique opportunity to have everybody in the same room. And tomorrow, everybody's going to be here. So we're actually hosting Thanksgiving. So, like Vanita, I'm so thankful for my family. But what I'm also thankful for is I have a blended family. So I have my Guyanese culture and my American side, my husband's side of the family. So I'm really grateful that we were able to blend
Yes.
seamlessly, because that's sometimes hard to do, two different cultures. And sometimes that happens where my dad is saying something and my mother-in-law has no idea what he's saying. but and they
Rightly.
figure it out. But like tomorrow for Thanksgiving, we're gonna have the turkey, but we're also gonna have goat curry, because we're
Oh.
again blending the two families. So I'm really grateful that everybody seemed to find a place and enjoy each other's company.
And it's
Nice.
important, right? Because being of different backgrounds and different culture and everything, it's difficult. But I'm sure with time you've been able to do that, and it sounds like you're still making it happen until this day. So I truly appreciate that. Vanita,
Yes.
I how are you doing with your vocals right now? Are you ready to give us something? Because
Oh
we're
yes. Oh yes.
yes, all right.
Um, so we're gonna do this. Anybody got a bottle and a spoon and a desk? You could beat it
I
in the meantime.
have something here.
Good, good.
Here.
So we ready to swing our waist, everybody?
We're
Yes.
ready. We're on our
Let's,
Somebody say yeah on the
Benita, while
comments.
you're getting ready, let's get some heart comments.
Yeah,
Send us
we
some
need them
love
on the
in
comments.
the yeah, so we can make sure that Vanita is getting some love tonight.
Somebody say fire and swing your waist. Somebody,
Yes, fire.
anybody.
All
Now, if
right.
I gotta see the comments, or else I'm not gonna sing.
All right.
we can
Island Zone Radio, are you
Yes.
ready?
Navin, sing good night to you. Dr. Budu, thank you for joining us.
Good night,
We
guys.
have Tausif back. Tausif, he joins us every single week.
Oh,
He's so
nice.
dedicated. Yeah. So thank you, Tausif. I'm thankful for you. All right. How are we
So the
doing?
comments is
Yes,
coming. The
I can
comments,
see the fire emoji. I can see the
the
hearts.
fire.
Yes.
Nice. If you see Hapua, no, 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 no.
No, no,
If
no,
you
no, no.
see, if you see Pua, how she patching the lawa. Let me see you say patching. If you see Pua, how she patching the lawa. If you see her Pua, wine and swing she waist, patching the lawa. All the ladies joining share. If you see her Pua, wine and swing she waist, patching the lawa. All the ladies joining share. She can't wait to patch the lawa. Can't wait to throw the dance. Can't wait to patch the lawa. Can't wait to throw the dance. If you see her Pua, wine and swing she waist, patching the lawa. All the ladies joining share. If you see her poor wine and swing she waist, watching it hour. All the ladies do joining she. Let me see you do the dance emoji now. So I'm gonna get to my verse. Show me
Yes.
the dance emoji.
Yes, guys. Dance emojis so Pua can continue here tonight. Now, I have a question that I've gotten a lot, right? Family members, friends, they say, what is patching the lava? What does that mean? Can you tell us what that
So yeah. So the right word is parching.
Parching,
right?
okay.
Yeah, like the right word is parching, but in Creole's term, everyone say, "Oh, they're parching the lava right now." So
Right,
on the Friday night is one of the tradition
right.
they use. If you notice on the videos that we did, they had the point broom, and they were on the fireside in with the canary. They were
Right.
using patty. Some people use popcorn, and the poor usually patch that up, and then they take that whatever they patched, and I think they put it part to use part of the wedding
Mhm.
ceremony, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. My brother just got married in this summer, and you know what song we had to play when my pool was partying the lava. So yeah, yeah, just a couple of months ago. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Part of the ceremony is you have the pua
Yes.
um partying the lava. How do you
Yeah,
explain it?
exactly.
It's hard to explain it, right?
I
But
know, right? But it's a tradition.
and it
um
has to pop. It has to
yes,
pop, whether it be the patty or the
or the
popcorn.
popcorn.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Guys, let's step back a little bit for anyone out there who has no idea that's watching us and thinking, okay, I get the patching, parching, who is the Puaro?
The
Who
pua
is
is
yes,
your father's sister.
Right.
The father's sister.
father, sisters, Yapua. Perfect. So for anyone else who didn't know that, now you know, right?
Thank you for the dance emoji,
Yes,
y'all.
yes, their father,
Mhm.
sister. We even had someone answer that question for us. So thank you to Zahira. Uh, Babita, thank you guys for answering that question for us. Now, for you, Vanita, I know that you've been singing music for a while. Is there any other genre of music that you totally enjoy singing but don't get enough chances or time to sing it? Is there something else that you enjoy singing?
I do reggae.
Yeah.
I try some pop, but certain place you go, they like the chutney mostly. So you just sing the chutney. So by the time you finish singing the chutney, some people like the reggae. It depends on the crowd.
Yeah.
But most of the crowd that we perform for is the chutney type.
Oh,
So
well,
we don't get to do.
tonight it's a little bit different because we love
Yeah.
every type of music here in Get Real with
Mhm.
Shamisa. As a matter of fact, we've had Vijay Ram Kisu, and he's done a couple different um, genres of music for me, and so he's absolutely amazing. So tonight you're gonna get to perform one of your favorite genre of music, and if you said it was reggae, we'll let you go ahead and sing
Oh
a reggae song.
my no! No!
Listen, we're not judging. We're just letting you do something that you totally enjoy. You told us you
I'm
enjoy
not
it.
gonna do that. I seriously not going to do that.
So here's just give us a line. One of your favorite
Ah.
reggae songs, just a line.
Oh,
No
these
pressure.
records that I know is like it's not for like this.
Oh,
It's really bad, girly. Oh, someone
ah,
loves you, honey. That was a clean one.
yeah.
No matter what, I just want to be your wife. I don't know the lyrics. It's a long time I haven't really sing it.
Wow, Vanita, it was truly a pleasure having you here tonight, and I look forward to having you again on Get Real with Shamiza. Any last word to your fans? I know that, like I said, you've been here in New York, you've been in Florida. I believe you even performed. Did you perform in Canada? Somehow I thought you
Oh
did,
no,
but
no.
you've been in.
Soon.
What is your message to now that the holiday is here? What is your message to your fans?
I love the snow. I love the cold. But my message, enjoy it with your family. It's festive. The Christmas is one of my favorite holidays of the year, and I just love it. So enjoy with your family. Don't drink too much. Stay safe.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive.
All right.
Stay safe.
All right.
I know
Well,
it's COVID and all still, You still
True.
gotta be careful.
Great message, Vanita. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you so much, Shamiza. I know the first time I throw you out, and this time I would have throw you out again if I didn't reach in time. But thank you so much for having me.
Anytime, and I look forward to having you again on Get Real with Shamiza. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.
Bye,
And hope
Vanita.
Indira,
bye.
go ahead.
It was really nice meeting you and hearing some of your music and saying to my family, I met her because we were playing your songs the other day and we love it. I know all my family love it. So it's really great meeting you and hearing from you. So have a good
Same
evening.
here. And
Wow.
hopefully next time I'm properly dressed,
Oh,
makeup and all, because I just run in the house, I took a shower and run out.
it's okay. We're
You
just,
know, it's the life of the working mom. When
I
do you have
exactly.
time to do
know.
anything? And that's one of the things I wanted to ask you, like, how do you even balance this?
It's
Working
tough.
and then finding a space for your talent, and also being a mom and being a wife and all that. I mean, it's a constant struggle.
It
And
is.
but being who you are, come as you may. I think that's the message here is that being able to juggle is difficult though.
Once you have a goal, once you set yourself for a goal, not no obstacle comes in.
That's right.
And you want your goal, you gotta work for it. Thank you so much again.
Pleasure.
Mm.
Wow, Indira. At this time, we'll take a message from our sponsors.
Gavin sing at Rancho. Yeah, my liquor is my lover. I was born a drinker. Yeah, my liquor is my lover. I was born a drinker.
Enos Driving School offers training for CDL licenses, including tractor trailers, trucks, and school buses. Just think, with a CDL license, you can have access to thousands of driving jobs at large companies such as FedEx, UPS, MTA, or New York Sanitation. Enos Driving School also offers defensive driving courses and training classes for cars and motorcycles, all taught by their college trained instructors who can even schedule your road test appointments. Inquire about other driving and training packages as well. You might even be qualified for their free CDL training, as they are a certified institution with the New York State Workforce One program. Call Enos Driving School today. They've been serving our community for over 10 years.
Imagination Foundation. Since it has been founded in 2014, Imagination Foundation has been dedicated to providing recreational, educational, and health benefits to the less fortunate in Guyana. From awareness concerts to free concerts where thousands have attended, to annual back-to-school events where hundreds of backpacks and school supplies are distributed so that children can start their year fresh and equipped to learn. Annual Christmas events with toys and games, providing hot meals to orphanages and the Dharmsala. Our team work hard and tirelessly. We are proud to consistently distribute hundreds of hampers throughout the pandemic, thanks to kind donors and sponsors and our founder. Look us up on Facebook if you would like to be part of this amazing movement. Imagination Foundation.
NS Algo Licensed Custom Brokerage Services Inc. is a Guyanese-owned and registered company located at Lot 49 Public Road, Kitty, Georgetown, with branch office at Lot 10-acre Media Ida on the west coast of Demerara. We offer an all-inclusive service, including delivery for all your commercial imports of air and sea cargo, containerized or LCL, vehicle and equipment, and much more. Make that call today, 225-5495, or visit our pages at www.nsalgobrokerage.com or find us on Facebook at NS Algo Brokerage.
Welcome back to Get Real with Shamiza. Indira, did you have to prep or do anything for your Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow?
So, yes, I did some last minute shopping today. So, today we had an office potluck where we all brought a dish to the office and we shared it. It was wonderful. You don't get a lot of opportunities to like sit with the staff and have conversation, So, we did that today. Tonight, my mother in law is making collard greens. So my husband is southern. So
Mhm.
collards is a southern thing. So she's doing that tonight. Tomorrow we're hosting 10 people. So I'm trying to figure out my table setting to fit 10 people. So we're gonna have to pull two tables together. I'm gonna be making some sangria. We have a lot of red wine and that people give us for gifts. My husband and I don't drink wine, so we're gonna make sangria with it for tomorrow. Yeah, all this stuff. I'm not a big cook, so my husband and my mother-in-law, my dad, all very big cooks. We're gonna have all of them do the hard work. I'm just gonna make everything look nice.
Very nice. We want to know what everyone that's watching tonight, what is their Thanksgiving? What,
Yeah.
what does it look like? Are you prepping your turkey right now? What are you doing? Are you making a turkey? Are you making curry? Are you baking a chicken? What is your Thanksgiving like? Let us know in the comments.
And
We
what
want to
about you,
know.
Lisa? I want to know about you.
Indira, I think probably ever since I've been in this country, I've always done Thanksgiving dinner. I'm
Right.
always the one hosting. I can't, very few that I can think of that I didn't actually do. And so this year, my mom has decided that she will host Thanksgiving dinner. So mom is hosting Thanksgiving dinner, and she said, she's taking care of everything. I mean, ours is simple. We do turkey with some sides, and I think she said she's doing some salmon, and that's it. We're simple. I'm gonna go over to mom's house, and my daughter will be there, and her family, and we're all gonna, just sit, eat Thanksgiving dinner, and then we'll probably play some cards.
Of
Cards is a
course.
big thing. Yeah, we love to play cards. So we'll play some cards and just enjoy our evening.
Absolutely. I did. I had to get some games because, I'm bringing together a group of different people. I have some friends joining us. So, the common denominator, what brings people together are games, and
Games,
conversation
yeah.
around games. So, I bought a few games that we're going to try. But it doesn't take much to make it a special evening. And one thing that I'm going to try, I want to as the night begins, to go around the table and just say one thing that we're thankful for. So
Yeah.
tonight's program is so fitting because it gives us an opportunity to really reflect on the year we have and think about what is it that we're grateful for. Gratitude, I think, is so important. So yeah, that's something I'm going to incorporate. Tomorrow is our first time hosting ever, so I'm hoping to go around the table and say, let's talk about one thing we're thankful for.
And I'm happy that you mentioned that, last year, as a matter of fact, I don't think a lot of people were able to
Right.
have a Thanksgiving dinner because of what was happening with the pandemic. I think most states had like a
Restrictions, right?
restriction in place, right? That if you had elderly or regardless, like you shouldn't have more than five people at Thanksgiving,
Right.
and if you had elderly parents or grandparents, you shouldn't really be doing anything with them. So I'm happy this year. I mean, we have not totally gotten out of the pandemic, but we're still able to celebrate with our loved ones. And that gives us an opportunity to really reconnect and really feel. Sometimes we take life for granted and we never realize these things until we're put in a situation like we were in for the last 18 months.
Right. And
And
for me, it was my parents, because we travel back and forth. Even though they live in New Jersey, they visit me all the time. I visit them. So during the lockdown, not seeing my parents for an extended period of time, it really bothered me. So and but it's one of those things where when you take away something you take for granted, all of a sudden you start appreciating it more, you know? So
Yes.
that is one thing that I took from the pandemic, you know, the fact that it gave us this time where, and because, you know, in the beginning months you didn't know how it spread, how bad it was. So I remember our office was on lockdown for over 2 months, and, you know, being very cautious about being around other people. But one of the things, the good things that came out of it was an just a feeling of gratefulness for the things in life that we take for granted, like seeing your parents, you know. But yeah, it really, having them here this year is going to be extremely special to have both sets of parents. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Wow. And I'm happy that you're able to, get that opportunity this year to do that. So I'm so happy for you. I hope that that is like the perfect dinner, one that I'm sure that,
You.
even though you've had
Fingers
many of
crossed.
those, exactly, it would be good.
There's
Um,
pressure
we're
when you're
we're
hosting.
we're looking at the comments. So if you have something that, anything different that you're doing for Thanksgiving, tell us how you celebrate your Thanksgiving. In the meantime, I do want to share that starting December 1st, we have a few shows left. As a matter of fact, we have 4 shows left for season 2, and we will be doing a lot of giveaways. We will be sharing a lot of different things. We're actually kicking off next week's show. Hopefully, we'll get that flyer up in just a moment. Next week's show will feature gift ideas, and it's ideas for us as women to celebrate ourselves, go out and I know one of the big things right now, Indira, is the women love to do their eyebrows and eyelashes and makeup and jewelry. That's a big thing. I love makeup, I love to experiment, I love jewelry. So I felt, let's celebrate and let's find ways how we can do it. So I bring some women to the show that will show us how, you can do all of these things. So we're
Absolutely.
celebrating in style starting next week. We're going to have upcoming shows about different desserts that you can prepare for the holidays, cakes. It's going to be a lot of different things. We're also doing a show on what men like for the holidays, how they like to do their shopping, and what gift ideas. A lot of times I don't think we ask our men, or we know what men want because they're not as vocal as we are.
Right.
But we will have some gentlemen who will tell us exactly what they like about shopping, or what they don't like about shopping, and what they like to receive for the holidays.
And
So
you
look out
know,
for those shows.
there isn't a lot of time left for shopping. You know, the
No,
time after Thanksgiving, it seems like the days just fly by, and before you know it, it's Christmas. So a timely topic to have, because
definitely.
we need to start doing our shopping. But it's, you know, as you said, self-care for women is so important, whether it be your eyebrows, whether it be your weekly appointment for your nail or your hair. It's a
Yeah.
time for us to really spend on ourselves, and self-care I think is so important. So, because, you know, like I'm sure you're juggling 10 things, kids being your kids, work, career, and doing the show. So having some time to yourself, I think, is important.
And these ladies are specialists in their own way. We've had actually both of the people that we will have on, they've actually done makeup and other things in the New York Fashion Week. So I'm excited to hear what that experience
Hey,
was like
some
for them.
tips and tricks.
Exactly. Tips, tricks, really, really fun things. And I'm
How do
looking
I get
forward to it.
rid of the bags under my eyes when I wake up in the morning? Like, how do I do that?
We'll be asking it next week. So
Right?
you definitely have to watch next week's show so that you can find out what is it that we can do. Hopefully they can give us some tips, some tricks as to how we can manage that.
Awesome.
And Indira, now I
Yeah.
know that we have that day set up December 7th. For anyone who was asking or is not sure, we have December 7th that's set aside for immigration.
Right.
So any
Yeah, a day for folks to call in, Zoom in, WhatsApp in, email in, but get your questions answered. And sometimes it's just a simple question. You know, you just it'll be a 10-minute phone call because you're just unsure about something. That's why we created this opportunity for you to just get all your questions out. And so, yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I've already said, I'm going to be sitting down one after the other, getting this done. Nothing else is scheduled. My calendar is blocked off just for folks watching this show.
Perfect. And I hope that people take the opportunity, they reach out and they ask their questions. If they want to know if their case is relevant, if they should take it to the next level, this is your opportunity. Because definitely one of the things that I have full confidence in about you, Indira, is that if there is an opportunity for them to move forward, you will be the first one to say, hey, I think you have a good case based on what you shared with me. I think we should move forward. And you will also let them know that if you don't think that it's a good choice to move forward, they don't have it yet,
Exactly.
you will advise as to what they should be doing to take it to the next level as well. So you guys will
Absolutely.
work together if that's what they want to do. But either way, it's great advice and it's complimentary advice.
Absolutely. And, Shamiza, immigration law is so inundated with people filing things and come over here and I can help you get a work permit, or go over here and pay me so much so I can get you a driver's license, or do this. And so many people make false promises and take advantage of people's vulnerability, because clearly you're in a vulnerable place, you're afraid, and people prey on that. So I'm very upfront because I understand what it's like to be in someone's shoes like that. Like I've mentioned before, I was undocumented. I was going through college, Hunter College in New York City, and I remember that when you're at the bursar's office and they said, "All right, put your social here." I didn't have one and I wrote a number. I don't even know what I wrote, but so I know what it's like to be undocumented and just kind of guessing your way through. So when I meet with someone, I can put myself in their shoes, and when I meet with their kids that are worried, is it my parents doing this correctly? I can assure them, and it's coming from a place of understanding. So yeah, I look forward and to meeting with clients, because I think that human connection is what's missing in our industry, and that caring for that person is what's missing in this field of work. So that's what I try to bring. That and how I try to separate myself from other attorneys is by saying, look, I understand what you're going through.
Definitely. Now, Indira, since we're here, tonight we're talking immigration, we're speaking gratefulness. What is one thing that one value that you were given, maybe by your family, parents, grandparents, that is important to you that you have passed on to your kids?
For me, I don't take anything for granted. I am always respectful, kind, and always thankful. I don't ever get too big for my shoes, as the saying goes. You always got to
Definitely.
remember where you came from, and where I came from is a Bagdam in Guyana, in Maiconi Creek. So like I can be in a courtroom and present myself a certain way, but I always remember where I came from. And I walk around proud of where I came from. I grew up in, where when it rained, the water would come through the wood, so you put like your newspaper and you stuff it in the wood. I grew up fetching water on my bicycle because we didn't have running water. I grew up in constant blackout. I grew up in floods, Maiconi Creek floods all the time. I grew up, and my dad was a rice farmer. He would come home like covered in mud because he was working the rice fields all night. I grew up, my mother sold chickens when I was a kid. We'd raise the chickens. And here in America, they raise it as pets. We raised it because we needed to eat, So I remember those things and those experiences. So now I don't take anything for granted. I'm very grateful, thankful for the opportunities. I think it's also it's the mentors along the way, the people along the way, that gives you an opportunity and so on, a stepping stone. I think being conscious and thoughtful and just grateful for where you came from is so important.
Definitely. I'm tonight as we go over what we're grateful for. Like I said, family and your job and all of these things are very common. We're all grateful for those things, and it's important to have those things. But there are many things in life that I'm grateful for that I had, and one of those things, like Suveer said earlier, he wants to be that guy that he doesn't want a male to be defined differently. They should have the right to do certain things, and I'm happy that I got the opportunity as a child, as a young girl growing up. I wasn't told that you can't play cricket with the boys, you can't hang out with the boys. I am grateful for those opportunities because today I've learned that there is no difference between me and that guy who can play cricket because I can do it
Absolutely.
too. So
Absolutely.
these are the little things that I'm grateful for. I stand up just like you. I grew up, I had very humble beginning as well, growing up in Iflit Ocean View and coming here and being in the city with an office of 120 guys. And I'm like one of the three females that's there. And I've earned the right to be there because my numbers were good and they were right. So being known around the room because you're that girl who others want to know what's her name again, Shamisa.
Right. Right.
I'm grateful for those things, and I want more girls to have the opportunity that I had, and I want boys to have opportunities to do things that they were told, oh, boys don't do that. I want,
Exactly.
I want us all to get those opportunities. So today, as we celebrate. Tomorrow, as we're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving, I want you to really think about what you're grateful for. What is one thing that really changed your life and how you're going to use that opportunity to help others? Because what's gratefulness and what is all of these things if you're not spreading that same message or you're not sharing what you've learned? So,
Right. And using your talents,
yeah,
to help someone else, that is what
right,
the life is all about.
absolutely.
So yeah.
So, Indira, I do want to thank you for being here this evening with me, for joining me. I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity, December 7th, helping our viewers. And I hope they take the opportunity that you're giving to them and make the most out of it. And I look forward in the future to having you on the show and to working with you on other projects that we can help our community.
Absolutely. Collaboration is the name of the game. Happy
Definitely.
Thanksgiving to everybody tuning in. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you, Shamisa, for your presence and being a presence in the community. I think it's so important to see strong female women in powerful positions. So little girls on watching you on TV can say, I can do that. So thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
It's a pleasure, Indira. Good night to you and happy Thanksgiving.
Good night.
Tonight, I would like to share a little story about gratitude. It's called Married Couple Walk Through the Garden. A married couple were walking through the garden when suddenly a dog ran towards them. They both knew it would bite them. The husband lifted his wife to let the dog bite him rather than his sweetheart. The dog stopped before them, unsure what to do, barked a little, and ran away. The husband put his wife down, expecting a hug and a few kind words of gratitude from her. But his wife shouted, I've seen people throwing stones and sticks at dogs. This is the first time I see someone trying to throw his wife at a dog. Moral: no one can misunderstand a husband better than a wife. I would like to thank my guests for tonight, my co-hosts, my sponsors, you, the viewers, for joining us. Until next time, be grateful for the little things in life. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.